For staying with us. Looking ahead, the Cosmic Summit is coming to Greensboro next weekend. This is a conference for unconventional ancient history enthusiasts to explore the potential existence of an advanced civilization lost to history.
I love this stuff. John Epstein is a professor at Winston-Salem State University and the organizer of the summit. Professor, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy to be here.
Excellent.
I see the pyramids behind you.
We're ready for this topic.
Great pyramids, I know. Talk all about that if you'd like. First of all, we want to start with the kind of scientists and speakers are going to be there at the summit next weekend.
Boy, that's really a mixed bag. We've got everything from hard scientists such as Robert Schoch, Alan West, right down to folks who are basically theorizing, and some would say conjecturing on a number of fascinating topics, all of which revolve around what may or may not have occurred prior to history as we know it. There's now fairly compelling evidence that there was, in fact, a civilization prior to our own. So we have people like Dr. Robert Schoch, the geologist from Boston University, coming in, Alan West, who's a member of the Comet Research Group, who are researching the potential of a major comet strike in northern Washington about 11,000 years ago or so, that apparently caused the flood from Bible stories and whatnot. So it's just very broad. We also have people doing research on Knights Templars, sacred geometry, just the gamut of things that mainstream science often will not engage with. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Well, John, we hear that your debut in Asheville last year was a huge success. Why did you decide to move to Greensboro, and how are you hoping that will change the impact?
Well, you know, the conference in Asheville was outstanding, and it was a great start to what George and the other organizers are trying to do. But what they really want to have happen is it to become a hub or a networking opportunity from people interested in these topics from all over the globe. So when the Curry Convention Center in Greensboro offered to host them, it was a no-brainer. Because Greensboro is a bigger city, more places for people to stay, more things for people to do, easier to get to. And the goal is to make this a yearly event, because we all feel very strongly that while the internet certainly provides tremendous opportunities for communication, to really discuss these things, you have to be sitting face to face with people.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. Go on, Doctor.
And so that's what they're trying to do, is create this networking hub. Hence the way the convention is going to be organized, you know, with a list of some very prominent speakers with some rather extraordinary claims that I'm interested in hearing, right down to classrooms and breakout sessions. They'll be providing rooms for people who suddenly meet somebody they need to sit and talk with, so we have a place for them to go do it. Trying to make every opportunity for people to be able to meet other people that they can then continue their work with. I think it's a great idea. It's a broad grouping of topics. There's no question about that, man.
Well, can you talk about some of those topics and what kind of things are going to be discussed over the weekend?
Well, we have a number of people coming from the Comet Research Group who are talking about what's referred to as the Young Dryas Impact Hypothesis, which we just discussed. Robert Schoch will be there as well. He's talking about an alternative explanation to that, which is a major solar flare activity incident that created the flooding. We got hit by a flare is essentially what Robert's arguing. We have folks doing work on megalithic structures, people like Hugh Newman. Many people have seen him on History Channel programs like Ancient Aliens or whatnot, The Unexplained. And then we have a fellow named Malcolm Bendall, who has invented a machine that, if his claims are true, which they appear to be, is just an extraordinary thing. I'm not a physicist, but wow. somehow or another, this machine he's created can transform carbon into oxygen as the output of an internal combustion engine. And that's amazing if it's true.
Yeah.
Solve some problems there.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few. And there's also, you know, a party where there's disco dancing, a dinner. Thank you so much for going over all of that information, Dr.
Yeah.
We do appreciate your time
Discos,
this morning.
bands,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
It sounds like a lot of fun in store. Education and fun always go in great hand in hand. So thank you again for your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking
Morning.
ahead now, sorry to cut you off, we're out of time there, but let's go over those details really quick. If you would like to attend the Cosmic Summit, tickets start at $485 for general admission. That is for the full festival and includes the meals and exclusive events at the Sheraton at Greensboro Resort. There are also a limited number of $350 a day passes. For more information, visit cosmicsummit.com.